Welcome to Jurassic Park. Are you guys glad to be back or what? Are you? I think you are. Now, obviously, this isn't Jurassic Park. It's nothing of the sorts. There are no dinosaurs here. But I'll tell you what, there are some other creatures here. If you look around, you pay attention, you may see an orc or two. You'll see a couple of gargoyles that enter some comments into YouTube and then turn to stone for the next 23 hours until they can unleash their next set. You'll find some virtual Vikings looking to parlay everything from the whole week into one long progressive parlay. You'll come across a couple of pirates. Sometimes I'll even delve into the pirate world here and there. But for the most part, you want to know what you're going to get here? You're going to get the best damn NHL sniffs that are humanly available. Because I want to tell you something, and don't think that I just say this lightly, because I know more than anybody. People who overpromise usually underdeliver. I was filthy in NHL and FIFA. Truly. Nasty. Anytime somebody told me that, oh, I'll kill you in NHL, I'll kill you in FIFA, I always mop the floor with them. Every single time the loudmouths could never promise. They could never cash the checks that their mouths wrote. But do you want to know who gave me the fight of a lifetime every single time? That person who casually said, no, I played FIFA, but wait, that was with yeah, I played that when it came out. And then you're playing them, fighting for your life. You need this power glove from the movie Wizard just to be tied at halftime. And I bring that up just to let you know, any new viewers of this channel, there is not a single hockey sniffer out there. And that's what I'll call it, because I'm not a pro bettor. I backed into this. I don't know anybody in the sports betting industry. I don't care about anybody in the sports betting industry. And if you don't believe me, have somebody from NBC call me tomorrow and ask me to spearhead the Charles in Charge reboot. I'm out of here tomorrow, and I'm handing the keys to this channel over to Stevie Bongrips, who's back for another. What, you think Stevie Bongrips is gone? He's sending me his Detroit Red Wings future. We're not going to talk too much about the Red Wings today, but what we are going to talk about is what you're going to get on this channel, what you're going to get with my NHL videos, because I can assure you there is not another single NHL sniffer out there who knows the depths of the bunkers that you're going to find on this channel when it comes to hockey bets. And if I'm overselling that and you think I can say it, bullshitting, then just take a look back at last season. I personally had multiple features removed from multiple sports books that you only saw on this channel. I asked you, point me to somebody else who's doing that. Point me to somebody else who got the assist point props removed from Hard Rock, and they had to redo the entire odds because we found the assist points over there. Any sort of assist over 1.5 point guys, whether it was Lafreniere, Panarin, you name it, we took that one down. Remember, toward the playoffs, we would get an under 6.5 that we liked, or we'd get a point prop at -140. We wanted to knock it down. We were taking obscure third liners on teams who had no power play 1 or 2 time. We were taking their under on half of a goal that Fanatics just started offering, and we were getting good prices. We were able to win bets using that. They removed all the unders on their goal scores. It's a one-way market now because of this channel and my sniffs that were given to you. So just know, that's the kind of stuff that you get here. And if you think it ends there, if you think it ends, oh, that's it though, he found those 2, that I already found another 2. I already found 2 NHL glitches for this upcoming season. Somebody who doesn't bet hockey has to be like, what? This guy, what is he talking about? Hockey is not like the other sports. You bet on the NFL, oh yeah, I'll take the yards at Bet Rivers, or I'll take the yards at Caesars, the alt receptions. Hockey has different features on every single website. If you bet on ESPN Bet, that allows you to do a whole different set of things than on Draftkings, which lets you do a whole different set of things than on Fanduel, which lets you do a whole different set of things than Bet365. And you have to know where you can place each of these types of bets. Some don't allow you to change puck lines and totals and same game parlays, where some will let you do whatever the hell you want. Some will not allow you to combine player props, where if you take one guy on a team, that's it. You can't take anybody else from that team. Other sports books, they'll let you put as many guys as you want. Some sports books offer alts, some offer none at all. So you have to know them all, and that will come up I did this breakdown of them all on the Patreon. That is over there for anybody who wants to check those out. But hockey is a very unique sport to bet because it's the smallest of the four sports, which provides us the biggest Achilles heel for them. So many things that they don't know how to properly price that you can expose if you're on top of it. So if you tell me, oh no, but I watched this show, it's called The New Hockey Guys, and they take all money lines, but just call it The New Donkey Guys. By the way, I did want to say something. Obviously, we ended on that once in a 25-year Connor McDavid, Conn Smythe, Florida Panthers Stanley Cup bet. And I'm like, that's it. I'm redoing the studio. I'm getting some new things. I had this whole plan after watching this YouTube video released from the NHL on the legendary arcade game called Open Ice. It was the NHL version of NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. And the NHL released a special on it. The thing was in the Hockey Hall of Fame for a while. I remember it growing up when it was in some of the ice hockey rinks. So I said, you know what? I'm going to track this thing down. There are only so many legitimate ones, not like some remade arcade machine. I tracked down an original one, paid a pretty penny, brought it all the way back crossing state lines, thinking this is going to be the perfect NHL backdrop. Now I'm pretty good with production. Everything that you see, every video you've ever seen on my channel, I'm shooting, I'm editing. I know all the stuff. I know everything there is to know about that. Yet I just completely forgot when it comes to the frames per second and the refresh rate. I was never going to be able to shoot an old arcade machine because of the settings on that machine. So I put it back there, spent all this time, spent money, and I was like, yep, I can't use that. So what you see on the Scamtron over there is actually this machine right here. I took a picture of this machine, which I planned to put in the back there, and now it has to stay over here as you see a picture of it over there. We all have a little donkey in it. We all suffer from a case of donkitis every once in a while. Some people get bronchitis, some people get donkitis, and we just try to avoid that as much as possible here on the channel. So I'm happy to have all you back for another year of NHL bets. And if you don't believe me, by the way, like what this guy's just talking out of his head, oh yeah, he's got all these new features that he's going to know, and he's shutting down sports. Well, if you don't believe me, how about this? How about this? Point me to anybody on the internet at any point, anywhere over the summer before this season started that told you to go to BetMGM and take Cole Caulfield for under 73.5 points for the season total, his season-long prop. And then also told you to go to Fanduel and go to the player point milestones and then go and take Cole Caulfield for over 70-plus points to guarantee yourself a fat stack regardless of the outcome, and also allowing you a 4-point window where you can hit both. So you're in big profits regardless of what happens, and you now have a 4-point window, 70, 71, 72, 73, to nail both of them. But Andy, you're not going to hit both. What, just like the Stanley Cup final? So if you I just got endless bunkers of info. So, when you're the number one NHL show for betting for 2 years straight, they say staying at the top is twice as hard as getting to the top. So, you know, I was in there. I was deep in those bunkers, knowing I'm going to have people nipping at my heels. I got those features in the holster. This time around, I'm going to enjoy them for a little bit. Oh, yeah, I found 2 more glitches. They're just sitting in my back pocket, so that when somebody comes to me, I'm just literally going to drop it and say, yeah, why don't you go to that? Tell me what else you know about hockey betting. You're never finding anything better than here.
You never had your car.
So with that said, let's talk about a little NHL for this upcoming season. As I always remind previous viewers, any sort of new watchers, Westworld searchers, as I like to call them. Wait, Andy, I just came here. What's a Westworld searcher? A Westworld searcher, because I had the #1 daily NHL betting show, it was somebody who couldn't think of anything better than NHL bets today. So if you found my video after searching NHL bets today, you are in fact a Westworld searcher. Because if I programmed a bot from Westworld to have one job, to make hockey bets, that's what their generic AI ass would have typed into YouTube. So that's you. And now I'm going to let you know that the early part of the season, what you're about to watch tonight, what you're about to watch tomorrow, what you're going to watch until the end of November is scam hockey. It's fake hockey. I will remind you, the perennial bottom 5 Anaheim Ducks, lottery number 1 pick type team, they were just ripping off wins against the Bruins, Canes, sweeping teams on the East Coast, never won again the whole rest of the season. Heading into All-Star break, Igor Shesterkin was benched for Jonathan Quick, who the previous year, that guy was being more passed on than a fat chick on Tinder. Nobody wanted Quick. And now all of a sudden, Shesterkin couldn't play better than Quick. He's being benched for Quick going into All-Star break. And then what happens? In the playoffs, no, but you have to sacrifice your firstborn to score 3 on Igor. That's when hockey got real. The Edmonton Oilers, remember them? 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. Where were they in November? They were carless. They didn't have a car. They fired their coach. They were miles out of the playoffs, and they were 1 game from the Stanley Cup. These first 2 months of the year are fake hockey. You have teams like tonight, like Chicago. They have no clue what the optimal line combinations are going to be. So the next few months, this month, next month, December, they're going to be tinkering. They're going to move Hall up and down and Kurashev up and down. They want to see what the optimal line combinations are until they eventually figure out who they are, which is why I always said early in the year, the teams who have played together and have the least amount of turnover, especially teams with top 5 power plays who are returning those power plays, are going to have a distinct advantage against some of those other teams. And I think that's a natural transition into opening night here. We're going to start talking about those Stanley Cup champs, the Florida Panthers. We talked about them to end the year. Only fitting that we're going to talk about them to open the year. They're facing the Boston Bruins, who they eliminated from the playoffs 2 straight years. This is somewhat of a rivalry. I will say this. If you want me to go chalky, oh yeah, give me a money line, give me a pizzeria play, that's all I can get. I refuse to just give you a straight up pizzeria play, but something that I will take. A Stanley Cup banner raising ceremony, if I can find a team like the Panthers at plus money for the 60-minute line, I'm going to take that. I'll take the Florida Panthers to win in regulation at plus 104. I think that's a pretty good value. But now let's get into my world. Let's get into where hockey's won. Let's get into those player props. Maybe we'll even find you some player prop pirate parlays. So the first I'm going to do is Matthew Tkachuk over 3.5 shots. Why? I'm just going to talk like we're continuing straight from the playoffs here, all right? They have 3 shoot everything type of players. They have 3 players who are consistently set at 3.5 for the shots on goal total. These are the same guys from last year, Verhaeghe, Tkachuk, and Sam Reinhart. When 2 of them are on the same line, I like taking that other guy who's going to be with 2 more pass first players. So we have Tkachuk on the second line with Bennett and Rodriguez. So I'm going to take the over 3.5 shots for Matthew Tkachuk, who should serve as an alpha shooter on that line. Once you start talking about that top line, sometimes it's hard to know who's really going to be blasting them because Verhaeghe's never seen a shot that he doesn't like. So I'm not going to mess with either of them when it comes to shots on goal. Give me those Matthew Tkachuk over 3.5 shots on goal. But that's a stacked top line, and we obviously know they have top line and top power play correlation. I'm just going to start saying these terms, and I hope everybody kind of remembers them from last year. But basically, a line is 3 players who play together. I want to take 2 players who are on that same line and are also on the same power play. I want to take both of them for a point. Usually that's at plus money, but this line is so nasty that even on the opening day, the best you can get, but I will take it, is Barkov and Verhaeghe for a point each is even money. But in a game against the Bruins, who maybe won't have Swayman, probably won't have Swayman, didn't play in all of training camp, so they're going to be going up against Jonas Korpisalo. And I am a believer that team defense is more important than your actual goalie. I call goalies the running backs of the NHL, so I wouldn't just think Korpisalo's immediately going to look like he did last year because of the team that's playing in front of him. So I'm not just going to, Florida's going to score a bunch of goals. No, you're not going to get any sort of crazy 2-point combos in this game. I like the Panthers, 60 minutes. Give me the over 3.5 shots for Matthew Tkachuk. And then the point for Verhaeghe and Barkov, even money. And then we have a term we like to call ruckus.
What was that ruckus?
I know here, Ruckus.
Ruckus is something that I've used my whole life when talking about certain situations in games. If there was just back and forth and
What was that ruckus?
a 7-6 NHL game, that's ruckus. Games that not only go over, way over. In games that you can foresee ruckus,
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
you can nail some high-paying pirate parlays. And I think there might be a chance. I'm not 100% sure, because obviously when you start talking about two lower-tier teams, that could go one of two ways. Two bad teams not scoring a lot, or you just get a jackal fest. And what kind of environment would serve for a better jackal environment to get that ruckus going than the first game in Utah on the Blackhawks side? Do you remember Teravainen? I talked about players who are not only pass first, but they're pass second, pass third. Teravainen is one of those guys. What's Connor Bedard? He's a shoot first, shoot second guy. This is a great combo if you ask me. Teravainen is on line one with Bedard and on power play one with Bedard. You're not going to see a much better opportunity to nag a plus 210 assist than you are in this game. So give me that plus 210 assist for Teravainen. And I am going to just a slight sprinkle. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. The assist is already greedy. I'm not saying point. Give me the assist and then a slight sprinkle on 2 assists. So that's what I like on the Chicago side. On the other side, you guys remember our boys, Schmaltz and Keller? We were always trying to get them, trying to get good prices on them. They're line one, power play one, and so is their center. Give me Barrett Hayton for a plus money point on this Utah hockey club. He's centering Keller and Schmaltz and is on the top power play with Keller and Schmaltz. I already told you guys you could always get that free assist by winning a faceoff right off the draw. Then the D maybe moves it, and if they score, you have opportunities to get points. I like when that third, but by the way, this is called trickle-down snakeonomics. Keller and Schmaltz are two great players for the Utah Hockey Club. We want the not as quality player playing alongside them so they get the trickle-down success that stems from those two great players. And that's what we're hoping for with Barrett Hayton. So give me that Barrett Hayton point, and I'm going to try to cook up some. It's opening night. Let's sail the seas. I know that's what you guys are here for, so let's do it. Give me the 2 points for Teravainen and the 2 points for Connor Bedard, the line mate, same game parlay over plus 1,000. Then also give me the 2 points for Bedard and the 2 points for Schmaltz. You're talking about massive plus 1,000, plus 1,500 same game parlays. But really, all we're trying to do here is predict if this game's going to be high scoring and try to reap the reward, enjoy the fruits of that ruckus sniff. Now, don't go crazy. Don't be putting all, because if it's a low scoring game, they're all going to lose. All these same game pirate parlays are just sprinkles. You know, the plays are the Tkachuk shots, the point for Verhaeghe and Barkov, then the assist for Teravainen, and the point for Hayton. Those are the main, all the pirate parlays, little spritz here, little spritz there. That's how I try to treat these types of games. And when it comes to the other game, don't make me guess. Do not make me try to guess between those two teams. That game can go, that could be the most boring game you've ever seen in your life. I'm just not going there. I'm leaving that game out. I'm putting my trust in that Utah Ruckus for their first home game. So let's try to smack some player props there. Also, don't mind if you want to sprinkle those over 2.5 shots for Connor Bedard in anything, because he's going to be playing with Teravainen, and it's just a bad price. If we were on Fanatics, I would tell you, take the under half of a goal for Nick Foligno and then put it with the over 2.5 shots. You can still do that somewhere, sometime. I don't know if you want to. That's something you can try. But it is great to be back. Good luck to you. better luck to me. Let's see how this season starts. We could have a bunch of losing weeks. It doesn't matter. This is fake hockey. I need to absorb the information. I need to see how these new teams are being used. I need to see the trickle-down snakeonomics, who's getting promoted, who's getting demoted. And once I absorb it all, we'll be right back where we always were. And that is number 1 in the charts, but it's only made available if you guys keep this up. Since I'm not an odd shopper like I was to start last year, I don't get that Google SEO stuff. It's only if everybody engages. And you guys learned yesterday in the football video, I talked about engagement karma, sports betting karma. I said, start a convo in the comments of this video. And talk about Starbucks, talk about the new... Well, today, the new thing you should be talking about down there, talk about what Christmas gift you got screwed on growing up. Something you really wanted, you put it on the list, and you just didn't get it. You just didn't get it. Mine was this white Power Rangers thing. I really wanted it. I can't even remember. It might have been the Zord or something. Didn't get it. What didn't you get? A membership to my Patreon, which you definitely should. Obviously, around hockey season, it's way more important because I filmed the video the night before. So much changes the next day. I update the picks based on what I've learned the next day. So hopefully I will be seeing you guys over there. Something tells me I will. If not, I will see you tomorrow for another round of NHL Sniffs. It's good to be back. I'm looking forward to another year. Take it easy. Have a good one.